We're about to face the most difficult challenge we have ever attempted. No other crew would have a chance to pulling this off. Let's give them a taste of what the Discovery's capable of.
I thought Klingons were honorable. Prove your worth.
I accept your challenge, human.
We have to abort now.
We don't run from a fight.
Star Trek Discovery, next Thursday at 10/9 Central on CBS.
This city is dividing into two camps. We'll deal with it. Just don't ask me how. Blue Bloods, new season Friday on CBS.
Every rendering, every decision, every choice, it matters.
All rise. I am so sick of DAs. It's over. You're done.
We all have a lot of work to do.
A new All Rise, Monday at 9/8 Central on CBS.
Now, your forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
All right, good evening to you out there. As we are fighting our way on this Thursday evening to the satellite picture, it's showing a little bit of cloud cover. You also saw a little bit of rain there, almost even just a couple of sprinkles down closer to I-70 earlier. That is gone, and now it's actually not too bad. Temperatures are warmer than what they have been at this hour the last several nights here. We've been down to the 20s by this point, but it's still 39 down in Effingham where that cloud cover has moved in. We think those clouds may stick around and actually help out those temperatures a little bit tonight, so they're not as cool. Starting out near 30 degrees tomorrow, and we're back to the mid-40s for highs again, looking very comfortable. What about the rest of the weekend? Can we continue the stretch of beautiful weather? Answer that when we come back. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
We've told you businesses are operating under tighter COVID restrictions, what health officials are doing to try and make them follow the rules. Plus, the state is working to get test results back to people faster, how some wait times were cut in half.
And a devastating crash turned deadly. What police know about the collision that claimed a teenager's life.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
Our goal is compliance, not to shut a business down. So it's really important that we give that education to make sure that they're aware of what they should be doing.
And making sure businesses are complying can be a tall task. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jessica Coons. This second wave of state restrictions has put a strain on businesses, but it's also meant health departments have had to monitor their areas even more closely. WCIA 3's Jared Farmer spoke with Macon County health officials. Jared, this is a difficult situation.
Yes, it is, Jessica, and health officials in Macon County say they need cooperation from both restaurants and the public to effectively control the virus's spread and enforce the guidelines. The Macon County Health Department enforces the guidelines through a step-by-step process. First, they rely on people in town to keep an eye on businesses and call to make complaints whenever guidelines are being ignored. Then they call said businesses with a warning. On the second complaint, health officials say they'll stop by the accused establishment for a physical inspection and issue a cease and desist order out after the third. If they still choose to not comply, this could mean having their food and liquor licenses suspended indefinitely.
Again, our goal is compliance, not shutting businesses down. We really want people to comply and keep people safe and protect lives. So that's why we're doing what we're doing.
One restaurant says that even though they are among the hardest hit by the state's restrictions, that they're members of the community too. And it's on them to do their part to make sure that everyone is safe and healthy.
Our main focus and goal is not just on us as a whole, but for the community. We want to make sure that everybody's safe and that we get through this in the safest possible manner we can.
Officials say they are grateful for all the restaurants in town who've continued to cooperate with the guidelines. Health officials also say if you see a business that's choosing not to follow guidelines, just give them a call and to also do your part by not entering them. Live in the newsroom, I'm Jared Farmer, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, Jared, thank you. The state is making an effort to get COVID-19 test results back more quickly. Public health officials are working with more labs across the state to get a faster turnaround time. Before Thanksgiving, it was taking 4 to 7 days to get results after going to Marketplace Mall in Champaign. Champaign-Urbana Public Health says it's now down to about 48 hours.
That is the biggest advantage of testing and having a result fast, is to be able to put people in isolation so that they are not infecting others when they are the most infectious.
If you go to Marketplace Mall for testing, you can sign up to get results electronically, and Public Health has noticed people may get their results back more quickly if they do sign into that electronic portal.
Churches in Champaign are offering free COVID testing this month. Mount Olive Missionary Baptist Church, Salem Baptist Church, Pilgrim Missionary Baptist Church, and the Church of the Living God are taking part. It's being facilitated by the U of I. On December 13th from 1 to 4, organizers hope this will help control the spread of the virus.
At least they'll know around the holiday season whether they have COVID. They may be asymptomatic, and we certainly don't want anybody that is asymptomatic to be taking the infection to their family unknowingly.
Testing will happen in the parking lot of Mount Olive Missionary Baptist Church. People will also have the option of getting a flu shot. Here's a look at today's COVID numbers statewide. There are nearly 11,000 new cases today, and that brings the total number of infections in the state since the pandemic began to nearly 760,000. Positivity rate, bit of good news, gone down to 12.3%. More than 5,600 people were in the hospital as of last night. Nearly 1,200 in the ICU, and about 700 were getting help to breathe from a ventilator. 192 more people have died in the state, and that includes 25 from central Illinois. More than 12,800 people have died with COVID-19 since this pandemic began.
We have an update for you. A teenager who was hurt in a crash last night in Champaign County has died. This happened near St. Joe at 2200 East and 1850 North. The sheriff's office says 17-year-old Nidara Edwards stopped at a stop sign, then went through the intersection. A dump truck could not stop in time and hit her vehicle. The two people in the truck were not hurt. Edwards died this afternoon. Everyone is okay after a high-rise in Champaign caught fire. The 14-story building was evacuated around 3 a.m. It happened on South 4th Street by John. It started on the roof and damaged 2 apartments underneath. It's mostly water damage. Today, teams were cleaning up. We talked to some students who live there, and they told us the fire alarm goes off quite a bit in that building, but this morning they quickly realized this was an emergency.
There was a bunch of smoke in the hallway. Not too bad. I could breathe fine. I couldn't see a fire, but I saw the firefighters rushing in.
They start looking around. Everyone's staying around. There's a lot more fire trucks than usual out here when the alarm goes off. Then we look up to the roof, and they see black smoke coming off the top of it.
Crews are still investigating how that fire started.
Here's a follow-up with a child pornography case. A former Boy Scout troop leader in Champaign County was sentenced to 6.5 years in federal prison today. Milton Forsberg was arrested last year in October. He pleaded guilty to using a computer to receive sexually explicit pictures of minors and child pornography. A man from Rantoul was sentenced to 7.5 years in prison for trafficking and possession of child porn. 25-year-old William Armstrong was arrested in June with inappropriate and violent pictures of kids. He pleaded guilty in August. And here's an update. A woman from in Danville was sentenced to 4 years of specialized sex offender probation for sexually abusing a student. Chelsea Robinson was a teacher at Danville High School, and she admitted to sexually abusing a 17-year-old student in her home 2 years ago, but claims she was the one who was taken advantage of.
State police made a huge dent in the backlog of DNA testing kits, but now they're looking for more resources to finish the job. State Police Director Brendan Kelly spoke at a Senate hearing today. Lawmakers were happy to see the backlog has been nearly cut in half, but want to see more done. Kelly says for that to happen, the General Assembly would need to create a full-time forensics commission.
8 or 9 other states have a forensic sciences commission. The task force, in a sense, could serve as a model for it. It's similar membership. The right people are in the room. The right stakeholders are involved. But that needs to be a permanent body, much like the way SPAC is, the Sentencing Policy Advisory Council.
Since March of last year, the DNA kit backlog is down by 48%, and the amount of time state police is taking to process those kits has been cut in half. New for you tonight, Springfield police are warning people about a phone scam that's caused some to lose thousands of dollars. They say the caller claims to be with an agency like the Social Security Administration, and they tell the victims to visit several banks to buy prepaid credit cards for the scammers. Police say if you get a call that seems suspicious, hang up immediately And if you've been a victim of a scam like this one, or this one in particular, you should call police.
A woman who sued city leaders in Danville agreed to a settlement. Lisa Robinson said she experienced discrimination based on her race and age. Mayor Ricky Williams Jr. was named in that suit. It claimed Robinson's race and age subjected her to harassment from officials. Last night, the city council approved a deal between Robinson and the city. The terms were not made public. City leaders say Mattoon's mayor died this morning from health issues. Timothy Gover became acting mayor in 2010 and was elected to the position in 2011, 2013, and 2017. He was born and raised in Mattoon and worked at EIU for more than 30 years. Finance Commissioner Preston Owen says he was a tireless leader determined to make Mattoon a better place.
He was in City Hall every day. I think that's tremendous for a part-time public official. He would spend hours there daily talking to Kyle Gill, the city administrator, Dean Barber, the police chief, the fire chief, the city clerk. He was very, very actively involved in running the city.
Owen's been named the mayor pro tem, meaning he'll perform the mayor's duties until an acting mayor is appointed.
People who are homeless in one city now have a place to take shelter from the cold. How you can help make sure they have something to eat, too.
Plus this.
Droughts are challenging.
We told you how one community is asking people to reduce water usage, what city leaders are doing to fix that issue.
WCIA 3 News is sponsored by Wright's Furniture and Flooring.
Ready to sell your home in 2020? With a guaranteed offer from Ryan Dallas Real Estate, skip the process of listing your home and go straight to sold. Closing in as little as 3 weeks. Stay hassle-free with Ryan Dallas Real Estate's guaranteed offer. It's selling made simple.
Life is full of choices. Like, do I want one roast beef or two? And sometimes beef and cheddars appear out of nowhere. And you realize you had more choices than you previously thought. You know, life is funny in that 2 for $6 roast beef sandwich deal sort of way. Arby's, we have the meat.
Get genuine value on gifts for Christmas during Blaine's Farm and Fleet's huge gift sale going on now. Shop amazing deals store-wide on great gifts for everyone on your list. For the chef, this Cuisinart cookware set is $30 off. For the car enthusiast, this garage floor jack is on sale $129.99. Give the gift of winter readiness with $200 off this Cub Cadet snow thrower. And a Blaine's Farm and Fleet gift card is always the perfect gift. Plus, buy online and pick up your items in our convenient drive-thru. You don't even need to get out of your car.
Join Cunningham Children's Home for a special holiday event, Cunningham's Luminaries of Hope and Live Nativity. For $10, you can purchase a luminary in memory of or honor of the special people in your life. 777 luminaries will be on display that represent each child, individual, and family we have served. On December 5th, 12th, and 19th, drive through our campus in Urbana to experience the magic as hundreds of luminaries will light your way to the Live Nativity. More details about Luminaries of Hope can be found at cunninghamhome.org.
The Viewers Club is on the news at 9 on X49. Don't miss your chance to win $100 with your Viewers Club card. Watch the news at 9 on X49 to win.
Ashley Home Store's Black Friday mattress sale is now extended. It's your last chance to get any size mattress for the price of a twin on select Ashley sleep mattresses. The best Black Friday mattress deals end Monday. Visit your local Ashley Home Store in Champaign, Bloomington, Peoria, and East Peoria.
Tomorrow on CI Living, it's the best of Chuck and Pam. They'll review movies, interview actors and directors, and even suggest a few recipes. Set your DVR for 4.
Bring holiday magic to a child. Drop off a new unwrapped toy or cash donation during the Toys for Tots Toy Drive at the WCIA 3 Backlot or Crossroads Christian Church in Danville. Thursday, December 10th from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sponsored by WCIA 3, WHMS, Carl, and Health Alliance. WCIA 3 News is sponsored by Bash Heating and Air Conditioning.
Live from your local news leader, Jessica Coons, Paul Cicchini, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Lighty and Brett Behrens on sports. You're watching WCIA 3 News at 10.
Lake Decatur was full as late as mid-August, but a lack of rain recently has leaders in Decatur taking precautions.
We told you earlier this week they're asking people to conserve water. Now the city is preparing to tap into its reserves, but they're not at that point just yet. The lake is still around 68% full. The city's last drought was in 2011, but this time city officials say they're fortunate to have recently completed a dredging project that allows the lake a 30% increase in its reserve.
Droughts are challenging. You never know, one, when they're going to start. Two, you don't know how severe they are. And three, you don't know how long they're going to last.
Decatur also has 2 emergency water supply sources it can tap into.
The Springfield Salvation Army is looking for help feeding the homeless. The warming center opened last month. Because of the pandemic, it'll be open around the clock. 70 people are there right now, and they're looking for help with individual meals. If you'd like to donate, we have a link on our website, WCIA.com.
All right, no rain in the forecast is not good news for Decatur.
No, we don't have rain in the forecast for quite some time. It may be a while, so those drought conditions may continue. Let's get a recap of today, though. We'll show you the highs and the lows and the records, the normals. Well above there for the 49-degree high. That was nice. You can see the record in the, wow, how about -8 back in 1929? Could be a lot worse, but that 71, that'd be pretty nice, wouldn't it? All right, when we come back, more about the nice weather we've got and just how long we may see this dry weather. Stick around.
Bring holiday magic to a child. Drop off a new unwrapped toy or cash donation during the Toys for Tots Toy Drive at the WCIA 3 backlot or Crossroads Christian Church in Danville. Thursday, December 10th from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sponsored by WCIA 3, WHMS, Carl, and Health Alliance.
When it comes to electrical, plumbing, or heating and cooling for your home, only the best service will do. We encourage our staff to pursue further education and certification to make them your #1 resource for home service.
Make things easy and call Edelman.
Toyotathon is on. Now's the time to get a great deal on Tacoma, RAV4, Camry, and more.
I'll take it.
I'll get this wrapped up for you. I wish I hadn't just unwrapped it.
Right now, during Toyotathon, you can get 0.9% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2021 Camry or 2021 RAV4.
Toyotathon is on. Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
It's a great way to see the country. If you're in it for the long haul, so is Marvin Keller. No CDL license? No problem. Their in-house training program helps you get your license and down the road. Earn more respect per mile training with Marvin Keller.
Seeing the joy that people feel when they share a meal with family and friends, that's why we do this. The laughter of kids around the table, the thrill of families driving through for a treat, the delight of not having to cook, and instead letting us safely serve you. It all comes back to taking care of each other. And for that, we'll be here with your favorites and always a smile.
WCIA 3 News is brought to you by Matex, Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Lighty.
A little bit of cloud cover out there today, and you may have noticed if you pulled up your WCIA 3 weather app and pulled up the little radar feature, you may have seen some of that green like that, but almost even a couple sprinkles from near maybe Effingham, Mattoon, Charleston, but there was some really dry air in place. A lot of that didn't even reach the ground, but now that has cleared the area, and we've just got a little bit of cloud cover. You may have seen the moon out there tonight, and there was a little bit of a sheen that you're kind of looking through with the clouds that were out there. And now let's take a look at your cast. We want to take 15 different cities and from 3 different counties, and we're going to start here in Champaign County, and we're going to go along I-57 and I-72 here, Sodom, Champaign, Mahomet. It looks like the Ogden temperature not registering right now, but mostly we're right there near the freezing mark. As we continue traveling west along I-72, we hit, Monticello there, where your current temperature is 32 degrees, a little warmer down towards Cerro Gordo. And we'll continue your travels into Macon County and say hello to those of you tuning in Argenta. About 32 right now, 33 in Maroa, and 33 in Macon. Water towers, let's do some of that for you. On your Friday in Thawville, 45 degrees, not a bad day. Looking pretty good in Rantoul for your Friday. 46, that is warmer than normal. And we're looking at plenty of sunshine in Mount Zion. with a high around 47. Kicking off the weekend on a good note. Tomorrow's actually going to be one of the warmer days on the 7-day because by the weekend it does get a little cooler for us. Okay, we'll talk about that here and more in just a second. Tomorrow we will see predominantly sunny skies, but a few clouds will be around from time to time. But it's another nice day with those temperatures, again, topping out in the mid-40s. But notice Saturday and Sunday. Look at the 41 and 40 degrees for high temperatures. Still not bad. And we're still looking at dry conditions. Look at the future track through the weekend. Nothing going on here. We don't have any rain in the forecast all the way through the end of next week. Isn't that pretty wild? That's a wild graphic right there when you don't have any precipitation on a 7-day precipitation total forecast. Nothing. Usually we see the different colors when we share this map with you. There's just nothing out there. Calm weather pattern continues with us. Now, it gets a little cooler, as I mentioned there, on Monday, 37, but we bounce back. Some nice warm temperatures by the end of next week. 29 tonight, partly cloudy, a little bit of a breeze out there. Tomorrow's high of 46. Not looking too bad. And as I mentioned, if you had the WCIA 3 weather app, you could have pulled it up and seen some of that rain that was showing up, where a lot of it was, again, evaporating before it hit the ground. But if you haven't downloaded our app, do that as soon as you can. And it will show you also the 7-day forecast, which again shows very calm conditions all week long through next week. As temperatures rise, we're going up to 50 on Thursday, which of course is our Toys for Tots drive out in the back parking lot. 50, the warmest day, Toys for Tots? That doesn't happen very often.
And if you don't have your Christmas decorations out that day, really a lot of those days are an option to get out there and do that.
Take your pick. We don't even really have any too many real windy days either, so all is good.
Perfect. All right, Kevin, thanks. Looking for a bright spot tonight, here's one from Deborah. She says she finally got all of her Christmas decorations out, and she loves the result, looking good. And this one is from Amanda. She says this little girl was excited to put the star on the tree this year.
We want to see your pictures and videos. Email us or send them on Facebook. We'll have a post at the top of our page for you to share what you are seeing.
As you heard, it's almost time for our annual Toys for Tots drive, how you can help us give back to kids who need it.
Plus this.
There's just too many people that need something in the world.
It's a Christmas light show with a giving twist where you can catch the display and make a difference along the way.
This job search tip is brought to you by the WCIA 3 Job Board.
References can be your best advocates during a job search. Be sure you pick references who are in your corner and will speak to your best qualities. It's not always critical to use your last boss. Find the best people who have worked by your side and who know what an asset you can be.
Go to WCIA.com and find your next job today.
For 2 years in a row, Tapman's Car Star has been voted #1 for collision repair in the News Gazette People's Choice Awards. Tapman is the area's trusted name in collision repair, and we'd like to thank you for making Tapman's Car Star the team you trust.
This is Eva. She's a great driver, if only her car insurance company knew it. At Root Insurance, we care most about the thing that matters most, how you drive, your braking, your turning, how much you drive, or right now, how little. While most insurance companies rely solely on things like your age, education level, and zip code to give you a rate, with Root, your driving is the #1 factor we use to give you a better price. Root Insurance. Download our app today.
The best in fresh meats, seafood, and specialty cuts. Discover Old Time Meat and Deli, offering the freshest, choicest meats, prepared to your exact specifications by our expert butchers. The holiday season is here, and let your guests know how much you care by presenting fresh-cut rib roast and other specialty carvings. Old Time Meat and Deli has you covered for a white linen meal or something quick for the office potluck. Locally sourced and freshly prepared. Old Time Meat and Deli Shop, located on South Neal, Champaign.
A precision operation demands advanced inputs to keep it running smoothly. New Delaro Complete Fungicide from Bayer protects corn and soybeans, delivering higher yields, even in unpredictable conditions. Season after season, keep your farm moving forward with help from Delaro Complete.
CashNetUSA.com, man. I help when money's tight.
If approved, you may get the money you need as soon as the same business day. Get the cash you need fast. Apply online today. Go to CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
With Long John Silver's family meals, you can have your cake for free and eat it too. Have it delivered from our shore to your door with any 10-piece meal or larger. Visit LongJohnSilvers.com to find delivery and free cake options near you. Long John Silver's, this year.
For 2 years in a row, Tapman's Car Star has been voted #1 for collision repair in the News Gazette People's Choice Awards. Tapman is the area's trusted name in collision repair, and we'd like to thank you for making Tapman's Car Star the team you trust.
The news continues here on WCIA 3, your local news leader.
A couple in Muhammad is giving people the chance to get in the holiday spirit while making someone's season a little bit brighter.
They're accepting donations for families in need at their Christmas light show. People can come out and enjoy the display and drop things like dry goods, coats, hats, or gloves in their donation box. All donations will go to Mom's Pantry, which helps feed and clothe families in need. The show's organizers say this gives people something to do while making a difference at the same time.
There's just too many people that need something in the world, and you know, there's other things that you look at life and you take things for granted, and when you're without it, it makes a difference. So if somebody can reach out and help somebody else in a time, it shouldn't be a question. It should just be a given, and you should just do it.
This year in particular, we've already had a big outpouring of support. I think people are looking for something to do, and this might be the one escape people have ever since back in March.
If you want to help out, you can drop donations off at 106 Redbud Court in Mahomet. The Hodges say if you're in need of something, you can leave a note in the box with your name and address.
We have another opportunity for you to give back this holiday season. Next Thursday, we're hosting our annual Toys for Tots drive. It'll again be in our back parking lot off South Randolph Street. We'll also be in Danville at Crossroads Christian Church on North Vermilion. The drive will run from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m.
All right, Brett, not the best late night for the Illini last night.
Yeah, I guess it seems like a long time ago. I don't know. If you stayed up for the game, you were probably up later than you wanted to be. We haven't had Illini basketball in a long time, so I think a lot of people probably did stay up. We'll recap the game, what happened, what went wrong, and maybe a couple of things Brad Underwood likes. Plus, we're also heading down to Chucktown, Eastern Illinois, opening up its home schedule today. Highlights next.
Carter's Furniture is celebrating the holiday season with a holiday sales tax bonus. Carter's will pay your sales tax now till the end of December on every purchase, or give you free financing for 2 full years. Now is the best time to save. Spruce up your home for the holidays with the largest selection of name brand furniture, all at sale prices. Now's the time to shop and save with our holiday sales tax bonus. Only at Carter's Furniture, Urbana.
This car since you were 8 policy from American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
Bring holiday magic to a child. Drop off a new unwrapped toy or cash donation during the Toys for Tots toy drive at the WCIA 3 backlot or Crossroads Christian Church in Danville. Thursday, December 10th from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sponsored by WCIA 3, WHMS, Carl, and Health Alliance. WCIA 3 News is sponsored by Ryan Dallas Real Estate. From the official television station of Illini Sports, this is WCIA 3 Sports and your Illini Nation.
Illinois basketball didn't leave Indianapolis last night with a top 5 win, but it did gain valuable experience in a loss to second-ranked Baylor. The Illini hung tough for the first 28 minutes before the Bears went on a 14-3 run to pull away. Baylor proved it is the real deal. The Bears certainly looked the part of a national title contender. Their guard depth was a problem all night for the Orange and Blue, who did manage to keep preseason All-American Jared Butler in check. He only had 12 points, but their other guards scored a combined 57. I would assume we put up a game-high 18 points, but had to take 18 shots to do it. Combine that with 12 turnovers for the Illini and a 24-7 second chance point differential, and you've got yourself a difference in the game.
It was a frustrating night. You know, we're not going to win many games when Io goes 6 of 18 and Adam Miller goes 2 for 11 and Trent has 6 turnovers. You know, that's a tough night for our guards. But I did find out I love our freshmen, and Adam's going to be just fine. I'm really proud of Andre Curbelo.
And Curbelo was a bright spot. The freshman point guard scored all of his 11 points in the second half. The other guy who shined, Georgi Bashanishvili, the junior big man, was instrumental in keeping the Illini in the game, especially in the first half where he scored 13 of his 15 points. Georgie was in the game due to Kofi Coburn's foul trouble. He had 2 by just 9 minutes into the first half, meaning Bashanishvili had to play the center spot in his place.
Just had to step up. You know, obviously, Kofi's a great player. He's not going to have a lot of nights like this, but when he does, other players have to step up, and it was me tonight. And I just came out ready, stayed ready, and stepped up for him. But he's not going to have a lot of nights like this. I promise that.
Georgie's 15 points were the most in a game for him since putting up 16 against the Citadel last November, so it's been more than a year. Brad Underwood said last night Andre Curbelo was out 8 days with a concussion. That was new information to us. He also hurt his ankle last week. He certainly didn't show any ill effects of either last night. And tough upcoming slate. First UT Martin at State Farm Center Saturday. That's an 8 o'clock tip. Then a trip to 9th-ranked Duke on Tuesday before heading to Missouri for the bragging rights game next Saturday. The Tigers just beat Oregon last night. Eastern Illinois opens up its home schedule this afternoon, taking on Chicago State at fanless Lance Arena. Josiah Wallace steps just inside the arc for a long 2. He was 6 of 8 from the field today. Leading the way in scoring, the Panthers' Sammy Friday IV. He had 16 points to go along with 7 rebounds. Named the all-name team that I just made up. EIU was too much in the end, though. Max Smith hits a 3 here. NCAA best 85 consecutive games of the 3 for him. Panthers win at 78-56. Their first victory of the season. I don't think a lot of Illini fans, maybe particularly feeling all that bad. You wanted to get the win, obviously. But they did compete, and I think overall, that's the main thing.
Yeah, there's another big game, though, looking forward to that's coming up soon.
Right, yeah. Next week you get Duke and Missouri. It's going to be a fun couple of weeks here for Illinois.
All right, Brett, thanks. We'll be right back.
WCIA3 News is sponsored by CIBM Bank.
Attention Dish subscribers, don't sit still while you're locked out. You have lost the full range of our programming that you pay for. All our prime time, gone. All our morning shows, gone. All our local news, sports, and weather, gone. All gone. Take action now. Tell Dish to return your station. Call now 800-333-3474 and tell Dish to return your station. That's 800-333-3474.
Budget Blinds not only does beautiful work on residential homes, but also specializes in commercial properties. Add comfort for your customers by reducing UV rays and glare from the sun. Budget Blinds works with national chains and local businesses, customizing to match existing decor. Contact Budget Blinds today to see what they can do for you.
The Michael Rumsey Insurance Agency is more than insurance. They educate you, helping you understand why the right coverages are important to your family. For your home, auto, life, business, and work comp, the Michael Rumsey Agency will help protect you and your family.
It starts with what you're made of. It takes local knowledge and the tools to put the right product in the right place. It's built on trust, grit, and determination. Because it turns out, what it takes to make the best product is a lot like what it takes to make a farmer. Golden Harvest, rooted in genetics, agronomy, and service. Grow with Golden Harvest seed through the Golden Advantage program. 0% interest on extended terms.
A new Illinois health insurance law that took effect in January might allow you to get free hearing aids through your insurance provider.
Contact me today to find out how I might be able to get you free hearing aids.
Is your credit score getting in the way of things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit help you borrow up to $10,000. So check your eligibility on netcredit.com today without affecting your credit score. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
Today on the morning show, an apartment building catches fire in Champaign near 4th and Green.
And tomorrow we'll tell you about some of the benefits that Medicare has to offer. We'll see you at 5.
This job search tip is brought to you by the WCIA3 Job Board.
The job search can seem overwhelming, so where do you start? Making a checklist with a few goals each day. Accomplishing these small steps can quickly get you in a position to focus on key jobs that might ultimately turn into your next career.
Go to WCIA.com and find your next job today.
We've got sunshine, and we've got sunshine. And toys!
They're having a lot of fun here. Look, we have a new friend. We are decorated with toys. Toys for Tots next Thursday. Great weather for it.
Weather looks great. 50 degrees. That'll be just fine for me. And hopefully for you as well, as you all come on by and help us out and fill the studio up even more.
We're going to make it very easy, socially distanced. We're going to be in Danville and Champaign. Those addresses, well, one of them is right here at our station. The Danville address is on our website. Oh my gosh, we got to go.
Oh, look at that. Look at
We'll
that.
see you tomorrow.
See that? I got hands.
Seeing the joy that people feel when they share a meal with family and friends, that's why we do this. The laughter of kids around the table, the thrill of families driving through for a treat, the delight of not having to cook, and instead letting us safely serve you. It all comes back to taking care of each other. And for that, we'll be here with your favorites and always a smile.
Menards has products to help keep your family safe, like this Fight Electric Smart Video Doorbell. It gives you live alerts on your cell phone with built-in motion detection. Plus, you can use the two-way audio feature to talk to visitors whether you're home or away. $49.99. Keep your family protected with Kidda products. Save on worry-free smoke alarms with a 10-year sealed battery that never needs changing for the life of the alarm. Just $14.99. Plus, a Menards gift card is always a great gift idea.
All the season's greetings to you all from Menards.